Round 2 from Fremd High School. Hi everybody, Eric O'Brien and Jael Lorenzi for HETV's Game of the Week once again. This time, we're on a Saturday, Jael. The last time we were here against these two teams, actually, fireworks were aplenty. Peyton Kim nailed a game-winning 3 with 1 second left on the clock after Conant led the entire way up until that. Conant coming in at 11-7, Jael, 3-2 in the conference, 3rd place in the conference. They want to make sure they get a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, Conant wants to come out of here with a win tonight, especially in the last game when they were up by 10 and they allowed the Vikings to come back with those clutch outside shots, and Peyton Kim hit that big shot at the end and wound up winning the game for the Vikings.
It was a monumental collapse for Conant. For Fremd, 12-3, 3-1 in the conference, 2nd place in the conference. Barrington, we saw them last week. They look unbeatable. But let's just say somehow they do lose. Fremd needs this game to maintain their status in their conference.
Definitely. They definitely want to win this game, and I think they're capable of doing that because they're one of those teams that are just poised and they're fundamentally sound, and they're able to hit those clutch shots. Nothing shakes them.
We've seen it before. This one should be a good one. Conant at Fremd. It's next with the starting lineups.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Very beautiful.
This contest is being conducted according to the rules and bylaws of the Illinois High School Association. The coaches, players, and officials are dedicated to conducting this contest within the framework of the rules. We anticipate our fans' words and actions will reflect this same positive behavior and example. And let's meet tonight's starting lineups for our Mid-Suburban League West contest between the Conant Cougars and your Fremd Vikings. For Conant, a 5'9" sophomore guard, number 11, Jim Sotos. For the Vikings, a 6-foot senior guard, number 14, Zach Schofstall. For the Cougars, a 6'6" junior forward, number 21, Chima Oducha.
I have the starting lineups. They're right here. Everyone in red.
And for the Vikings, a 6'3" senior guard, number 23, Xavier Williams. For Conant, a 6'4" junior forward, number 24, Kyle Bradley.
A sophomore.
And for the Vikings, a 6-foot junior guard, number 30, Peyton Kim. For Conant, a 6'5" senior guard, number 32, Dan Soto. And for the Vikings, a 6'7" junior forward, number 33, Patrick Benka. For Conant, a 6'2" senior guard, number 33, Chris Dolman. for the Vikings, a 6'4" senior forward, number 44, Ryan Kreski. The Cougars are coached by Tom McCormick. Your Vikings are coached by Bob Rudowski, assisted by Mike Brown. Tonight's officials are John Kruzwicki, Jim Sullivan, and Tom Weinschmidt.
Well, here we go, another edition of HETV's Game of the Week. The William Fremd Vikings at home opposing the Conant Cougars. Conant will be in blue, Fremd will be in white. The tip, Xavier Williams tips it over way down court to the left side, and that'll be Jimmy Sotos controlling it for Conant and attacking to the right, to our right. Over into the corner, that's Dulce. Dulce giving it to Bradley and back to Jimmy Sotos. Up in the top wing in the front court. Driving left now, it pauses. A bounce pass over to Kyle Bradley, who controls it for a brief moment and then kicks it back to Sotos. Jimmy working off a high screen on Bradley. Back to Bradley. Very early on, no score. We're just getting started here. Sotos rifles a pass over to his brother Daniel in the corner. Daniel gives it back to Bradley, give it back to Jimmy over on the left wing, and Chris Dulce on the left corner. Back to Bradley in the left wing. Everything has been outside of the circle thus far. This will be Dulce to the right, working on Zach Schofstel. Picks up his dribble and gives an overhand pass over to Daniel Sotos. Cross court, right corner, that's Kyle Bradley driving baseline, gives it up. Kima Aducha lost the ball, and Peyton Kim will come back with it to the left side. A cross court pass all the way over to Xavier Williams in the right corner. And now Kim will slow it down at mid-court. Still no score, as we've already gone by a minute and a half in the first quarter. Patrick Benka way downtown for three on the left wing. No good. Rebound Jimmy Sotos, and here he comes to the right. Jimmy driving left through the circle, crossing the lane, off the glass, too far, but Aducha's there for the rebound and the putback.
And Aducha with the aggressive putback, and that was a good rebound putback there. They're going to need him to be aggressive in this game.
Approaching 6 minutes in the first quarter, and Kima Aducha puts the first points of the ball game onto the board, 2-0, Conant on top of Fremd.
Well, the first time he got stripped by Peyton, and he said this time down the court, I'm not going to allow the same thing to happen.
Now Kim over to Schofstel, cross-court pass, chest pass to Xavier Williams. Picks up his dribble, lunging with his left leg, back to Kim at the top of the key. Kim a lofting pass to the left corner, and immediately over to Schofstel and back to Kim in the right wing. On top of the circle, moving the ball outside of the circle, passing inside to Ryan Kraske, but the ball is tipped away, and now Conant at midcourt coming up with it in Jimmy Sotos.
And Conant playing that tough defense inside.
Number 11 gives it to number 24. That's Kyle Bradley, who kicks it to 21 down in the right corner. That's Kimo Aducha. Keep an eye out for him. Biggest man on the court right now. And now here comes Daniel Sotos, number 32, spinning to his right. Right-handed lay-in off the glass and good. 4-0 Conant. 5 minutes into the first quarter.
And Soto taking Xavier Williams to the basket with aggressiveness and great play.
And now in the front court in the white jerseys, here's Fremd. Xavier Williams and a foul. Someone chopped his hand. Looked to be Bradley, maybe.
Foul is on number 32, Dan Sotos.
We'll get a call from our officials. They are John Krasinski tonight, Tom Sullivan, and Jim Welkschmidt.
And Aducha steps out the game, and Jordan Hughes replaces him in the lineup for Conant.
Possession, Fremd in the white jerseys, and Kim took the inbound and was working from the top of the key. Over to Schofstel, left wing corner, three-pointer short. Don't think he got any kind of a rim. And looked to be Hughes who brought down that rebound.
Yeah, Conant playing tough defense inside, not giving up the inside.
Hughes brought it up court quickly, but now Conant is slowing it down in the front court. All the movement, JL, seems to be outside of the circle. They're just kind of seeing what kind of defense is Bob Wodlowski's team going to play on us.
Yeah, and Conant's not giving up anything inside. They're allowing Fremd to have the outside, and Fremd vice versa, doing the same thing, not allowing the inside positioning.
Jimmy Sotos will inbound to Kyle Bradley into the backcourt, way downtown, and then pick up the pass from Bradley as he retreated to get it. And now trying to attack to his left, losing his footing, falling to the deck, losing the ball, and here comes Fremd. Up to the front court, working left. And now they'll slow it down. Xavier Williams will retreat back to the top of the key, give it to Kim, who drives to the paint, kicks it out to Xavier Williams over on the right corner. Low pass, nearly got away from Patrick Banka, but he hauled it in. Gave it to Kim, who's wide open, and now that door closes. Jimmy Sotos closed the lane nicely on that defense.
Yeah, the Cougars are daring the Vikings to shoot from outside.
Kim faked with it. A converging Jimmy Sotos and Chris Dulce made him pull it back down, and now here comes Schofstol over by the Vikings logo in front of the band on the far corner. Williams back to Kim, back to Williams.
And the Vikings are going to start having to hit some. They're going to have to hit some outside shots to open up the inside because the Cougars are not giving up anything inside.
And so a timeout for Fremd with Conant on top 4-0 and 3:16 into the first quarter. JL, not a heck of a lot of action so far, huh?
Well, there is a lot of action, but there's not. We haven't seen a lot of points scored because both teams are denying the inside. They're playing such tough defense inside, and they're allowing each. They're challenging one another to shoot from the outside.
It struck me when Peyton Kim started pulling up from three-point range and two Conant Cougars converged on him. You can't help but think back to December 12th of 2014, the last time we were here doing a broadcast, and Kim's dagger with 1 second left.
Such a memorable night. Yeah, Kim hit a big-time shot, and it was something that caught everyone by surprise. There was no time left and such little time, but yeah, you got to watch out for Kim.
And judging by the defense of Coach Tom McCormick, they remember that well.
They're going to be paying a lot of attention to him tonight.
So inbound Kim to Banka. Throws an alley-oop for Banka, a little bit too tall for him.
Yeah, I think that caught Banka they caught him off guard by surprise there.
Checking in for Conant, number 25, Ryan Davis. Replacing number 44,
Kim threw it
Jordan Heaton.
from right in front of the scorer's table all the way to the rim. It bounced off Banka's hand, off a Conant Cougars hand, and so possession will remain with Fremd. This is Xavier Williams from the far corner, three-pointer short, rebound Banka, puts up a shot of his own, that's short, bounces off the rim, off the glass, and controlled by Sotos. Jimmy Sotos already with 3 rebounds in the first quarter. Driving in the front court, giving up to Bradley. Bradley was stripped by Schofstol, who was also stripped by Dulce. And so a timeout from Coach Tom McCormick and the Conant Cougars, still on top of Fremd, 4-0. 2:45 remaining in the first quarter.
And both of these teams playing really physical tonight. And you see the tenacity, the intensity in this game, because Conant knows in the previous game they had the lead up until about 2 minutes left in the game and had the game snatched away from them.
Conant, to me, JL, has seen that they play a different way every time that we see them. Sometimes they're fast-paced right off the gate, then they lose it and blow the lead by the end. Sometimes they just push the envelope too much and then pull back too early. And now they're pulling back extremely early, and we'll see if maybe they push the pace at the end and save their energy for the end, because all the movement has been on the outside. No one's really attacked like we're used to seeing Daniel Sotos, the all-conference senior, just driving the lane. Hughes, Oducha, Davis, they usually like to drive the lane and let Jimmy shoot it from the top.
Yeah, going to the basket. They're a little tentative today, and it might be the jitters with the intensity of the game. This is a big game.
And now starting play again, that's Jimmy Sotos to his brother Daniel. Back to Jimmy. Daniel sets a high screen for Jimmy. Driving to the right, denied, out of bounds. Possession will remain with Conant. And here comes Brandon Vincent to check in for Ryan Davis, the very tall freshman.
And although the Vikings have a height disadvantage, they play so tough inside. I mean, those guys are gritty, and with the tenacity they play with, they're not giving anything up.
Vincent at 5'10", checks in for Davis, who was 6'7". So a smaller lineup for Conant. And Jimmy Sotos bounced past Kyle Bradley, lost the ball for a second, went to his left, regained possession, and off the glass and in, 6-0 lead for Conant over Fremd.
Good spin move by Bradley, strong to the basket.
Williams driving left to Kim, over to Kyle Sliwa, the sophomore. Look out for number 4. He's had an impact in every game that we've done late.
Oh, yeah.
And he's certainly a late bloomer in the games.
Yeah, it doesn't take him long to get hot in the game. A couple of minutes, he can hit some big shots and win the game for the Vikings at any time.
Sliwa running the circle all the way to the right side. Lost the ball, deflected, but Kim had it, gave it to Williams. Williams back to Kim, and now Kim double teamed by Vincent and Bradley. All the way over to Sliwa, wide open 3 in the left corner is no good. Hard off the rim, and now diving to the floor is Chris Dulce and Patrick Banka.
And Sotos appears to be injured here. But
Soto's gimping off. Yep, he's favoring. Does it look like he's favoring that left? Seems to be favoring the left. Cannot get off on his own.
And Sotos and Banka, they crash to the floor violently.
And so he falls into the chair, Sotos does, and McCormick, very worried, comes right over. Sotos will get a towel. Possession on the jump ball is Conant, and so Vincent will take it in the backcourt. That's a huge loss for Conant if Jimmy Sotos can't continue, JL.
Oh, definitely. They'll miss him. But I believe, hopefully, if it's not anything serious, he's a tough kid, so he'll come back. And Bradley drives to the basket, and he's called for a charge here.
Player control foul number 24, Cal
Bradley faked at the 3, a lane opened up, and he just drove it a little bit too far. He could have pulled up and put in a nice, easy shot. Instead, extended that right knee and drove over Kyle Sliwa, who was happy to take the charge. And now here comes Xavier Williams very nonchalantly up midcourt.
Do you think Conant senses the urgency in this game?
We're in the final minute of the first quarter with Conant on top 6-0 at Fremd. Xavier Williams lowering that right shoulder, pushing off with the right arm, and that's exactly what he is called for. And so the ball will go to Conant. Kyle Bradley inbounding to either Brandon Vincent or Daniel Sotos. Jimmy Sotos still on the bench.
And it looks like Shafto and Williams are arguing a little bit on the court, so they're becoming frustrated with what's taking place here.
Brandon Vincent draws 2 Fremd defenders and leaves a wide open Daniel Sotos. I think Fremd would probably prefer to do that the other way around. Double Daniel and leave Vincent wide open. Either way, here comes Conant in the front court. And now they'll kick it back to midcourt, and Daniel Sotos controlling it at the circle.
And Shafto picking him up at half court.
Kyle Bradley working to his left all the way around. No look pass, throwing it for wide open Vincent in the left corner, but it was a little bit too long. And out of bounds, and now Fremd will have possession, trailing 6-0 with 22 seconds left in the first quarter.
And the Cougars just need to calm down a little bit. I know they have that sense of urgency because they played well in the last game and then gave up the game with a couple of minutes to go, up by 9 and lost the game. So they don't want the same thing to happen in this game.
Michael Poulter will check out, and Shafstol will replace him for Fremd. Peyton Kim, some fancy dribbling between the legs, crossover to his right, picks up his dribble, left-handed pass across court. Shafstol fakes, Shafstol shoots, fading away, and no good. Air ball, there's the buzzer, 6-0. The Cougars are on top of the Vikings at Fremd's home.
Wow. This is going to be interesting. We see not a lot of scoring in this game, but we see some tenacious defense on by the Vikings and the Cougars, and physical play early on.
Good news for Conant. Jimmy Sotos, number 11, the young sophomore and brother of Daniel, is popping around. Much more life to his step than when he came out of the ballgame.
Yeah, he would have to have something broken to not return to the game, and even then, they probably have to hold him down.
While the Fremd Vikings cheer squad is out on the court and the two teams huddle, Jimmy Sotos was getting some practice in shuffling to his left, shuffling to his right, backpedaling, testing out that ankle. We thought it might be the left ankle. It looked like he was favoring. And now he takes a seat back down on the bench. Gets another towel from Coach Tom McCormick and company. We'll see if he comes back into the game in this half. He's up off the chair. He's back onto the court. Jimmy Sotos, a hop, skip, a jump. And number 11 is back on the floor. Good news for the men in blue.
And he seems to be favoring his tail ball. That's what it appears to be. But nevertheless, he's still in the game and returns to the game, and hopefully he can be effective.
So Banka will inbound to Xavier Williams for Fremd to start this second quarter, trailing 6-0 at home. And now Schaafstoll in front of the band, working on Brandon Vincent. 14 working on 15, gives up to 4, that's Sliwa. Back to 23, that's Xavier Williams. Now working left around the circle. Schaafstoll thought about a shot at the top of the key, gave it up to Williams. Bounce pass over to Sliwa, working right. 3 defenders in front of him, looking for space. Sees Schaafstoll in the right corner, 3 ball. In and out, no good. Another rebound for Jimmy Sotos, that's his 4th.
And the Cougars clogging up the middle there.
Jimmy Sotos, wide open, now he will have the gap closed by Kyle Sliwa and regroup. Checking Sliwa's left hand with his right hand, trying to clear space for the passing lane. It was over to Dulce. Dulce back to Sotos at the top of the key. Sotos over to Davis. And back to Sotos. And back to Dulce.
And the Cougars want to establish something inside.
And now Dulce shuffling his feet, using his body, driving the paint, and a lay-in with his left hand is good. 8-0, the Conant Cougars are on top of the Fremd Vikings at Fremd. 6:45 remaining in the first half.
And all of the Cougars' 8 points have been going to the basket aggressively, nothing from the outside.
Schaafstoll faked a shot, worked baseline, kicked it out to Sliwa. Sliwa's three-pointer is short. Banka chucked it out of bounds. And so Conant will have the ball. Fremd High School is yet to get on the board, and frustration is mounting. Over a quarter and some change being played, and still a goose egg on that scoreboard. Very discouraging for Bob Wodlowski's squad.
You know what? It is discouraging because they're not on the board yet, but they're a team that they're so resilient, and they've been through this time and time and time again. So they have the confidence and the poise, and I don't think they're worried about it.
Having the confidence is Chris Dulce right now. In between his legs, behind the back, fancy dribbling, now gives it up to Ryan Davis at the top. And Jimmy, jab step, faking right, faking left, bounce pass over to Daniel to his left. Daniel, right-handed pass to the top of the key, and Chris Dulce clearing space with elbows, crossover to his left, step and a jump, and the layup was denied by the bottom of the backboard. He got a little too far on that jump and out of bounds. Fremd will take over.
For the Vikings, number 35.
Yeah, Doce going strong to the basket. That's the 3rd time he's driven to the basket with such aggressiveness and was denied.
Well, we've seen this a couple times now, JL. I said Fremd will take over because the bottom of that backboard definitely denied the shot. Conant took the inbound. Bradley drove, passed it up to Ryan Davis. Davis shot it and won. Basket and the foul. He will go to the line. But how does Conant have possession?
Well, Williams, I don't know how they got the possession, but the referees must have been watching something different than what we were watching.
I mean, Williams would have had to reach way over to deny that shot. It was clear the bottom of the backboard is where Dulce, unless they were called for a foul on the approach, but then that would be shooting foul.
Yes.
Well, either way, Ryan Davis finished the three-point play, and Fremd is in the front court, attacking to our left in the white jerseys with green trim, a little bit of gold around that. And Schaafstoll working right. Fremd looking for their first points of the game, trailing by double digits, 11-0. Sliwa, left corner, wide open 3, and they're on the board.
And that's all they need. That's all they need is to get a little confidence and hit one of those shots, and he just got them 3 points on the board by Sliwa.
The sophomore has been the spark plug for William Fremd in the past. We'll see if that kickstarts this offense, because they do have the potential to put up big numbers.
Oh yeah, they can light it up and quickly.
Conant on top in the first half, 11-3. A turnover from Bradley. Schaafstoll to Kim. Leaves it for Benka, and Benka puts it in. Correction, that's Ryan
that-
Domke who just checked in for Benka.
Great ball movement, great passing, unselfishness, and they seem to be on a roll now.
One-touch passing, about 3 one-touch passes, and the sort of half alley-oop, if you will, off of the glass for Ryan Domke, and that's a good way to get into the ballgame.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're doubling Soto's in the post, so they're denying anything that's coming inside.
And so it took over 11 minutes to get their first bucket of the game, Fremd did, but now they have 5 points, and they trail by just 6 early on in the second quarter.
Great pass by Sotos to Davis, who couldn't handle it.
So here comes Sliwa. Kim pulls up from the free throw line, gives off a pass, and Domke could not handle it.
Yeah, Peyton, that pass, I had a little too much mustard on it.
The kid may have been better off just putting up that shot. He was wide open.
Oh yeah.
Shooters got to shoot sometimes, and here's Sliwa inbound. Shopstel over to Kim, over to Sliwa, three-pointer, in and out, off the glass. Rebound Sotos, his 5th rebound.
And he's not shy about taking those three-point shots.
You would think when I say Sotos rebounding, that would be Daniel. He's much bigger, but no, Jimmy, the undersized sophomore, he has 5 rebounds in the first half. Dulce working on 2 Fremd defenders, gives it up to Jimmy. Jimmy working right, drives left shoulder, pulls back. Over to Daniel on the IHSA logo. Over to Dulce, working right wing, stepping.
And he goes to the basket, and he's denied, and he appears to be hurt because he's still
Shot still on the other end,
on the
misses a
floor.
layup. Dulce is in writhing pain right under the basket in the Conant side of the court. Rolling around, slamming the court. 2 hands over his face. He is clearly hurt.
Dolce, the senior for the Cougars, hit the deck really hard, and he's grimacing. It seems to be touching his left knee, and hopefully it's not
And
something serious here.
he is gesturing to a fact that he knows this is bad. So they'll extend his right leg, asking how that feels.
What's the right knee possibly? Check that.
They're checking underneath that right knee in the region of an ACL. And this is the part of athletics that we absolutely hate to see.
And for the senior, I mean, this would be a horrible way to end the season with an injury like this.
6'2" senior guard, number 33, Chris Dulce, is on the court, and it's a very quiet moment right now as they work on his right knee. And still in tremendous pain. A huddle over his head. 3 different people. And you can just see it on the looks of people like Vincent over in the huddle who can't stop looking over at Chris Dulce.
And just the pain on Dulce's face tells the story that this might be a little more serious than we hope.
All right, 4 men are going to try to help Dulce up. Very ginger on his right leg and wiping away some tears using his jersey. They'll clean up the spot that he hit the floor. I'd be surprised if we see number 33 back in this ballgame. Thoughts and prayers are with him. A senior, a big part of Coach Tom McCormick's team.
Yeah, and he appears to be in a lot of pain. A lot of pain.
Towel over his face, and well, you just feel for the guy. But basketball has to be played, and so we pick up the pace again. Jimmy Sotos driving left to the front court. Leaves a pass for his brother Daniel. 3 Fremd defenders on top of him onto the floor. Kimo Ducha dove in there. Got the ball and called timeout.
Great hustle by Aducha.
Or did he? Touched out of bounds before he could get the timeout in, and so Benka will inbound for Fremd. Fremd trailing 11-5 at home against Conant. We're in the first half, and 3:15 remaining in this half. Kim working the left corner. Crossing over to his right, lost the ball. Recovered, gave it to Sliwa. Over to Benka in the right corner, in front of the band. Bounce pass to Kim in the midcourt. Over to Shopstol. Shopstol over to Sliwa, driving baseline. Crossing bounce pass. Wide open, Benka over in the right corner, short. Rebound Sliwa, trying to go up with it, losing it out of bounds.
24, Cal Bradley replaces number 21, Chima Oducha.
Poked out of bounds by a Conant Cougar, and Shopstol will look to inbound to a white jersey. It'll be Sliwa in front of him and to his right, which is over in the left corner. Driving, jump step, denied by Ryan Davis. Over to the ground, gets his own denial though. Shopstol bounce pass into Ryan Kraske. Everyone hitting the deck, and Kyle Bradley comes away with the ball. And now slowing it down in the backcourt. Coming up past midcourt, and here's Jimmy Sotos in the front court in front of the Vikings logo. Picking up his dribble at the top of the key now. Over to Vincent, driving left, clearing space to the right. Ryan Davis laying it in, and a 13-5 advantage with a little over 2 minutes remaining in the half for the Conant Cougars.
And Ryan Davis goes to the basket so strong, he's built like a tight end. It's hard to stop him.
Kim trying to drive right up the middle is denied by 4 Conant Cougars. What in the world was number 30 thinking? And now Jimmy with it in the midcourt. And the pace is going to be halted here for a second. Calling play. Now here's Jimmy. Through the middle, over to a wide open Ryan Davis from 3, the 6'7" forward could not hit. And all the way over to Sliwa. Onto the other end, and the lay-in is good.
And Sliwa heads up, goes quickly the other way, scores on the layup.
13-7, final 90. Brandon Vincent for Conant. Missed the three-pointer, but Daniel Sotos was working right underneath the paint trying to get the rebound, and a foul will be called on him. Leaned his body a little bit too much, and he is disgusted at that call.
But the Cougars are up 13-7 over the Vikings with 1:24 left in the second quarter here.
Sotos trying to take a seat, grabbing a swig of water, chucking the water bottle off. Tom McCormick grabbed his left arm and held him up. He said, "Son, you're not taking a seat just yet." Here's an alley-oop try for Benka. Didn't jam it home, but he laid it in anyway.
Peyton to Benka, what a great connection.
Kim to Benka, they've tried that a few times tonight, and they finally connect on it. 13-9, final 60 in the first half. Conant on top of Fremd.
And it's interesting because the Vikings have made plenty of mistakes and were down for so long, but now they're only down by 4.
Here's Conant in the front court, and Benjamin Scholes loses his footing in the right corner. Throws a pass all the way over to Bradley, who gives it to Jimmy Sotos. Trying to work to his left, ran into Patrick Benka. And now gives it back to Bradley on the right wing. Overhand pass, caught by Davis in the left corner. Chest pass over to Sotos. And now Sotos will dribble it out a little bit. Heels almost on that midcourt line. Working any space he can. Spinning right, spinning left, finds Bradley at the top of the key. Bradley driving left, 2 dribbles, a hop and a foul.
And Benka with the foul.
Benka will be called with it. With 12.1 seconds, Kyle Bradley will go to the line.
And that's the game plan for the Cougars tonight, going directly straight to the basket aggressively. And it's paid off for them so far in this first half.
Off the back iron into the front iron, and good. Bradley knocks down the first one. Second one, back iron, front iron, no good. Off the glass, rebound Kim. 10 seconds remaining and counting. Working left, giving it up to Benka. Vincent tried to jump it. Benka over to Sliwa, wide open 3, rattles around and in and out. No good. 14-9 will be our halftime score with Conant on top at Fremd High School.
Such a low-scoring game, but a well-played game. And Sliwa and the Vikings, they got the shot that they wanted, just didn't fall for them.
And now the big question on everyone's mind, what is the health of Chris Dulce? Nearing the end of the second quarter, Dulce went down in writhing pain. They worked on his right knee, action was actually occurring away from him in the other side of the court, and he remained down. Once the shot was missed, play was stopped. We were down for about 2 to 3 minutes, I'd say. He was helped off the court, sat down. He does not appear that he will be coming back into the game. A huge loss for the Conant Cougars.
Yeah, I mean, the Cougars need him because he is a catalyst, and he's someone that jumpstarts the rest of the team. He drives to the basket. He can hit the outside shot, his passing skills and rebounding, and just his tenacity on defense. They need him, and it just appeared from the injury itself and the way he responded to it that it's something serious.
But we'll look for his health in the second half. We'll try to have an update for you. We're at halftime at Fremd High School on HETV's Game of the Week. Eric O'Brien and Jael Lorenzi will be back with you for the second half. Conant on top, 14-9. Well, as we expected at Fremd High School, Conant and the Fremd Vikings going at it for the second half. Conant on top, 14-9. No Chris Dulce, number 33, the senior for the Conant Cougars, went down earlier on in the game. It looked to be maybe an ACL injury on his right knee. We don't see him. We don't see him on the bench. It does not look good for the senior. Thoughts and prayers with him. Jimmy Sotos also went down earlier in that half, but he has been back on the floor. 5 rebounds, points to go with it. This guy's been good, and he works in the front court against Fremd, going to his right. And with the right hand, lays it in, driving the paint. 16-9, points on the first possession for Conant. They pick up right where they left off, JL.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to need some scoring from them in the second half if they're going to win this game.
Xavier Williams, bounce pass to Schafstel. Schafstel, chest pass back to Williams. Over on the right wing. In front of the right corner, that's 44, Ryan Kraske. We haven't heard his name this broadcast. I look for him to be a dominant force underneath this half. He's got it. He's just got to get more aggressive.
Yeah, they got to get Kraske in the game somehow, some way. They've got to get him in the game and get some inside scoring.
This is Schafstel, right corner, ball to the right, gets stuck between the rim and the glass, holds there for a second, and then Benka punched it out with his right hand. The three-pointers, they've had good looks, the Fremd Vikings have. They just are not knocking them down. One has gone through, and it was off of Sliwa after it took 11 minutes for Fremd to get on the board at all.
Yeah, and I don't think they're too worried about that because they're a team that they're resilient, like I said, and they're able to heat up quickly. And so they've been in this situation before. Hopefully they can start hitting some of those outside shots and take it from there.
Eric O'Brien and Jael Lorenzi from Fremd High School for the Game of the Week. Conant going against Fremd at Fremd. It's a 16-9 advantage for Conant, and we're just underway in the second half, 6:27 into the third quarter.
Yeah, and Conant knows a little bit about being up by 10 and losing the game in the last couple of minutes, so I know that they're not feeling so confident at all right now.
You were mentioning at half, JL, this kind of has the same feel, the same setup. Here's Kim over to Schafstel in the front court. On the near side, bounce pass to Williams, fakes a couple times, now dribbles to the baseline. Thinks better of it, comes back over to Kim. Pass to Benka. Benka jumps, throws with the right hand to Schafstel. Schafstel driving the baseline, steps right, puts up a shot, misses it. Frenzy for the rebound, couple of tips, a foul, and Schafstel will go to the line.
And Schafstel, just like Sliwa, they're 6 foot and 6'1" and undersized a little bit, if you will, but they play so aggressively and so tenaciously that they make up for it. They play bigger than what they really are.
Schafstel winds up, and the first free throw is good.
Whatever they lack in height, they make up for it in heart. That's for sure.
Second free throw for Schafstel. That one's good, too. A little extracurricular over there with Kimo Ducha and Ryan Kraske, and a cheerleader paid the price into the wall, into that green padded wall behind the basket. Now Kraske will take a seat on the bench for that. Pass all the way down court. Hail Mary to the other end, and Vincent missed the wide open lay-in.
Oh,
no good. Rebound, Patrick Benka.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier than that with that easy layup, that football pass, and Vincent with the miss on the layup.
Vincent got going, looked like a wide receiver, catching the ball over his shoulder, over his left shoulder, looking up. The basket was right there for him.
No one anywhere near him. It looked like a blown coverage in football.
Exactly. And so now we're back on the Conant side of things, but Fremd will inbound in the back court. Scratch that, we're in the front court. Fremd is attacking to our right in the white jerseys. Pass cross court to Schostel, back to Kim cross court, and Williams on the near side.
And I think one of the biggest difference in this game opposed to in the last game when the Cougars met the Vikings, the Cougars are playing very tough perimeter defense in this game. And now we see Dolce back on the bench, number 33 for the Cougars. I don't know if he'll be coming in the game anytime soon, but
Williams fouled going baseline. Inbound from Fremd was a jump pass and a shot, and everyone hitting the deck here.
And Banca and Sotos, they go to the floor, fighting for the rebound.
Whoa.
Foul is on number 32, Daniel Soto.
Now, the brothers are having a little bit of an exchange with each other on the court. Number 32, that's Daniel Sotos. Number 11, that's Jimmy. Jimmy tried to come over and have some words with Daniel and was shoved about 5 feet backwards.
Replaces number 32, Daniel
And
Soto.
this is not the first time that Daniel's kind of thrown a little bit of a temper tantrum. Meanwhile, Patrick Banca made his first free throw and makes his second free throw.
Yeah, Sotos seems to be uncharacteristically frustrated in this game.
And here comes Jimmy working right. Driving off Kim's hip. Leaves a no-look pass over his right shoulder from Ryan Davis. Davis going up. Count the basket and one. Right-handed lay-in off the glass. Working on Banca using that big 6'7" frame, number 25 in blue.
And Jimmy Sotos with a great pass to Ryan Davis, who was able to get muscle that ball up for the score. And he goes to the basket. I mean, he goes to the free throw line.
2 dribbles and a quick shot from the free throw line. No good. Rebound Scholes for Conant. And then a loose ball, and Vincent and Schostel going up. Vincent pulled it down. Schostel fouled Vincent.
And Schostel, that was a foul out of frustration because his team didn't get the rebound when they should have, so he unnecessarily fouled Vincent.
So Sotos will inbound in front of the Vikings at quarter court and into the backcourt to Kyle Bradley. Bradley working on Williams. Now Williams will switch over to Jimmy Sotos, who's driving left. Lost the ball for a second, regained momentum. And now picking up his dribble right in front of the Vikings logo at midcourt. Schostel jumped it. Over to Banca. Banca too tall for him. He'll have to pull it down and they'll regroup. Driving baseline. Cross-court pass. They say Banca stepped on the line out of bounds. Conant will take over. Leading 18-13, 4:45 in the third quarter.
And you got to give Schostel credit because he's just so, he's always around the ball, in the passing lanes, and just a tenacious defender.
Bradley takes a hop and then passes into Scholes, number 22, working on the sophomore Kyle Sliwa. Double team, Schostel came over, stripped the ball. Sliwa over to Schostel, cross-court pass to Kim. Kim pauses over to Williams. Williams at the top of the key, lowers his right shoulder. He's done that multiple times. Offensive foul. And the ball will go to Conant.
And I think that's the third foul on Williams in this game.
There's no reason for number 23 Williams to do that. He's much bigger. He doesn't have to use that body to clear space. Just shoot the ball over a much smaller Jimmy Sotos. Williams goes to the bench, slams his right hand into the seat, and play will start once again with Vincent in the front court. Over to Bradley, back to Vincent. Working on Kim. Now working on Poulter to his right. Dishing a pass off for Scholes. Schostel poking away from Jimmy Sotos, trying to save it. Flings the ball over to the cheerleaders. And everyone got out of the way, dodging a bullet.
And good hustle by Schostel, even though he wasn't able to save the ball, save it in bounds. You got to love his hustle.
As Schostel was leaning out of bounds, he just whipped a pass behind him, had no idea where it was going, and it wasn't close.
And it's that intensity that Schostel is displaying that gets his team going.
Certainly keeps the cheerleaders in the game. One's been run into the wall, and now one's had to dodge a basketball. And having to dodge Brandon Vincent was Michael Poulter hitting the deck. It'll be a blocking foul called, though. And so he will check out. Check in Dylan Simios, one of the twins on Fremd's team.
And this game has been physical from the very beginning, from the first tip-off.
Third quarter, 4 minutes left. Conant on top, 18-13. Jimmy Sotos can't find anybody on the inbound, so he'll call a timeout.
Timeout, Conant.
It'll be a 30-second timeout.
And this is a great timeout for the Cougars. I think they want to capitalize on this possession. It's 18-13. They couldn't get the ball in bounds, so they called the timeout. Jimmy Soto's heads-up play calling the timeout. And I think now would be a good time to try to establish something inside. So it'll be interesting to see what they draw up here.
Jimmy Sotos over in that huddle. He's getting a little bit of water, but typically stands right next to his brother. This time, that was about 3 or 4 teammates in front of him and his brother. And now Daniel will come over and say, hey, my bad.
Well, I think he's just frustrated from the very beginning. I mean, this has been a physical game, and they've been fighting and clawing and scratching for every possession. As
the baby of 3 brothers, I can relate. All is fine and good, though, now that he said I'm sorry. It won't be revisited at all at home. Here's Jimmy in the front court, driving left, bounce pass over to Ryan Davis. High pass for Vincent, but he controls it with 2 hands, brings it back down. Waves around his elbows a couple times, going right, kicks it back to Scholes. Scholes losing his footing to his left, now goes right. And losing the ball now is Scholes. Kim coming up the court, working on Bradley. Holds it down in the lane and in.
And the Vikings with tenacious defense and playing the passing lanes, and they get a steal.
A nice hesitation move by Kim, nearly got a second steal. Wodlowski is livid. He wanted to travel. They won't get it. So Jimmy Sotos, standing on the Viking, now works right. In front of a couple screens, and Kyle Bradley going to the left. Jimmy Sotos, he does that well, but not this time.
Smothering defense by the Vikings.
Here comes Fremd. Pace at a maximum right now. Kim, another wide open 3, no good. And Sliwa diving to the deck, trying to save the rebound, hits it out of bounds.
And the Vikings are just out hustling the Cougars in the second half here. Diving for every loose ball, playing the passing lanes, getting the steals.
It's only a 3-point game. Another pass all the way down court. Brandon Vincent, he makes good this time. That's the second time like a wide receiver being led by his quarterback. Brandon Vincent has hauled in a pass all the way down the court. This time he comes through. And the Cougars are on top 20-15 with 2:41 in the third quarter.
And the Cougars caught the Vikings defense napping on that one, and Vincent with the easy layup.
3 ball from Fremd, no good. Rebound Ryan Davis, and here they come again. Now Vincent will pause. And over to Bradley. Bradley holding that ball, taunting Sliwa to come get it with his right hand. Loses possession, here comes Schafstol. In transition, stops, kicks it out to the 3-pointer. Back to Schafstol, 3-pointer, short. All day long, short. And now Conant will slow the pace. They can work some clock if they want. Double team on Vincent. Into Oducho, working the paint, clears a lane, spins to his left, lays in with the left, and a 22-15 lead for Conant over Fremd at Fremd High School. 1:44 in the third quarter and a timeout for the Fremd Vikings.
And Oducho with a great spin move and a great baby hook there for the score.
Suffocating defense for Fremd this half. They've poked it away quite a few times from blue jerseys. But what has absolutely killed them is the inbound and letting Vincent just run a go pattern up the court.
Yeah, they snoozed that time and allowed Vincent to get behind the defense. And when you do those things, I mean, you're going to pay for it. I mean, but they played tough. They played smothering defense. They just have to take better care of the ball as well.
There's a Chris Dulce sighting over on the Conant bench. He's come out. He's still in a jersey, which is a good sign. He's having a little hug from one of his coaches, but head is still in the towel. Probably fighting back tears, and typically that means he's been told that his season has come to an end.
Yeah, I mean, it's speculation on this point, but I mean, by just seeing him on the bench and the way he was crying earlier, it had to be something serious. Only he truly knows what's going on with him, but hopefully we can get an update on his status soon.
Unfortunately, from seeing it too many times myself as a former professional athlete, right where they were working, that is an ACL or an MCL. And I could tell as soon as he went down that that's the region it was going to be, and my heart goes out to him.
Oh, no doubt he was in excruciating pain. So.
All right, 22-15, Conant on top, 140 in the third quarter. Fremd will work to our right in the white jerseys against the Conant Cougars in the blue jerseys. Patrick Benka driving baseline, leaves the ball for Michael Poulter, who's going to round the circle and over. And now back to Poulter. Domke, Benka, movement on the outside. Poulter jumping around, calling for the ball in the near corner, but he can't get it. Sliwa's passing lane was denied, and so they'll kick it back out and look for it again.
And the Cougars tightening up their defense here as well.
Benka working left, jump pass over to Sliwa, lost the ball. Jimmy Sotos controls it and up the court. Vincent going again, streaking to the basket. Fakes, partially blocked, over to Ducha, and Oducha is fouled.
Oh, Benka with a nice block on Vincent, but he was called for the foul on Oducha there.
Benka came from 7 feet away, reached out that big, long right paw of his, and just did get a piece of that ball. Patrick Benka standing at 6'7", the junior, as Oducha knocks down his first free throw for a 23-15 lead in the final minute of the third quarter.
And number 44, Ryan Maskey.
See if Oducha hits this free throw and he misses the first.
Second free throw no good off the iron. Ryan Davis launching the ball out of bounds and will actually be called for a foul in doing so, over the back. And so here's Benka into Schostel. Up center court working on Bradley. Leaving the ball to Xavier Williams. Crossing over to his left, picks up his dribble. To Sliwa, right wing working on Davis. Mismatch there. Schostel kicking it over to Benka in the low corner. Bounce pass intercepted by Vincent. And now Conant will run transition.
And the Cougars up 23-15 over the Vikings here in the third quarter with 25 seconds left.
30 seconds left. Schostel picked Vincent's pocket all the way to the rim. No good. Williams finished it off, but it won't count. Schostel will go to the line.
And Schostel has been all over the place tonight defensively. Gritty player.
Couple dribbles, a spin, loads up, fires, and Schostel is good on his first one.
Number 30, Peyton Kim. Replaces number 23, Xavier Williams.
Xavier Williams will get a breather for the fourth quarter. Peyton Kim checks in. Second free throw good as well for Schostel. 23-17, final 20 on a working clock in the third quarter. Jimmy Sotos past midcourt. Typically holds for the last shot here. Number 11 does, working on Peyton Kim. Tom McCormick waving everyone to the basket. Sotos to his right, picks up his dribble, spins left, throws a two-handed pass, gets his rebound, and shot falls short at the buzzer.
And he almost hit that shot.
I nearly stopped talking. He chucked it up, no look, like Jimmy Sotos does with his passes, and it nearly went in.
Well, we're here in the final quarter. This is familiar territory for both of these teams, not only individually but against one another. They've been in these positions before. The Cougars have had the lead on the Vikings. They've blown the lead. They know what it is going into the fourth quarter with up to a 10-point lead. In this particular case, they have a 6-point lead. The Vikings, this is when they're shine. This is where they shine in the fourth quarter, and they tighten up their defense and they make the clutch shots. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this fourth period.
11-0 run Conant started this game with. Fremd took over 11 minutes just to get on the board, over a quarter to get on the board. And so for it to only be a 5-point game, rather a 6-point game, that has to play into Fremd's favor.
Oh, most definitely. They're used to being in this position, and they love being down. They love being challenged this way, and Nobody thought that they would do too much. No one thought they would do anything this year, and they've surprised everyone.
Unfortunately, as soon as Dulce and Jimmy Sotos went down, Jimmy Sotos returned, thankfully. Dulce did not. That's when Fremd started to come back into this game. And you just wonder, had Dulce not had a horrific injury, what could have been? But you got to finish it out how you have it. And right now, how you have it is Kyle Bradley, Daniel Sotos, Jimmy Sotos, Ryan Davis, and Kimo Ducha, working on Peyton Kim, Ryan Kraske, Zach Schostel, Patrick Banka, and Xavier Williams for the Fremd Vikings. Start of the fourth quarter, here we go. Conant in the front court. Bradley. Pass in to Daniel Sotos. Back to Bradley. And now Bradley will kickstart it to his right. Laying in the paint, no good. Rebound, Kimo Ducha. Wave off the bucket. What do we have? I didn't see enough contact for a foul.
Foul's on number 44, Ryan Kraske.
But the foul was on Ryan Kraske. Boy, ticky-tacky there.
Yeah, they've been inconsistent with their calls, the referees in this game.
Jimmy Sotos will take the inbound at the top of the key. Give to Bradley underneath. Bradley, contact, fading away off the glass, bank it in, and he'll go to the line for one more, trying to complete the three-point play. Up 25-17, 7:32 in regulation.
What a great play by Bradley, and they're going to need him in this fourth quarter to show up big for them.
Bradley's free throw, no good. Ryan Davis tried to tip it back and came over the back. Second time Ryan Davis has done that.
For the Vikings, number 4.
And so Kyle Bradley with 7 points leads the way for the Cougars.
The 6'4" junior forward.
Peyton Kim will dribble it up midcourt. Right down the center alley. Now cutting to his left, angling left, looking for a pass. He has Sliwa. Oducha closed the gap on Sliwa. All the way over to Schostel. Cross-court pass to Banka. Takes a dribble, steps in front of the line. 18-footer, no good. Dribbling to his right, bounce pass, Kim. Schostel, they'll try it again, this time from 3. No good. Schostel hasn't hit it all day. Sliwa putting up an awkward shot as he hit the deck.
And although he missed the shot, he was fouled. You cannot allow the Vikings to continue to get these offensive rebounds and expect to win the game. I mean, the Cougars, they're just allowing the smaller team to dominate on the glass, and that's unacceptable.
Sliwa hits the first. They will look for their sophomore once again to spark a comeback. 6 points on the night, looking for number 7 here. Hit a three-pointer to get him started in general in the first half. Misses the second one, hard off the rim. Banka called for over the back and will go to the other side of the court. 7th team foul either way. This time it's on Fremd, and so we're going to have shots. It's going to be Kimo Ducha, number 21.
And Sliwa always seems to be hitting a three-point shot or doing something to get his team back in the game and get them going.
1-1, Oducha, no good on the first. Rebound, Kyle Bradley. A strong rebound, ripping it away from 2 Fremd Vikings as he loses his balance out of bounds, but gave the ball up to Jimmy Sotos, who rifles a pass over to his brother. Daniels at the top of the key, working on Kim. To the left, crossover to the right. Tried giving it to Jimmy. Not there. Holds it now to Jimmy. Jimmy with a running floater, but is fouled. Foul called on Zach Schostel. It was before the shot, but it's team foul number 9.
And Soto seems to be a little frustrated, even though he got the call and he got the foul. He's at the line, but you could see it in his face, the frustration.
1-1, good on the first one. So it's a moot point now. He'll shoot 2. Eight-point lead for Conant. Jimmy looking to make it 9. 27-18, 6:34 in regulation. Timeout, Conant.
Good timeout by the Cougars. And you have to believe that Cougars coach is calling the timeout to reiterate. Keep your poise. Do not lose the lead. Do not underestimate the Vikings.
on the road, up by 9, trying to overcome one of their seniors going down, possibly for the rest of the season, and trying to avenge the lead that they blew last, let's say, month here at Conant on a last-second 3 by Peyton Kim.
Yeah, and you can see Chris Dolce on the bench with an ice pack on his knee, wrapped, taped to his knee, so appears to be very serious.
It's 27-18, but it could be a much different story if Fremd could just hit wide open threes, specifically number 14, Zach Schofstol, who we're accustomed to seeing knock down those wide open threes. 0 for 6 tonight.
Yeah, he's made up for it in some form by playing defense and playing the passing lanes and diving and hustling. But if he can hit some outside shots, that would be great for the Vikings.
A credit to number 14 finding a way to contribute when he's not scoring.
And that's what great players do.
And so Kim will come up. Schofstol one more time from the right corner, air ball. And his woeful night shooting will continue. 0 for 7 now from 3-point range. And now trying to sell a, let's just say a flop, was Patrick Kim.
Well, it looked more like Jimmy Soto's shook Peyton Kim, and Peyton Kim went to the deck. Was shook out of his boots.
Daniel Sotos working in the far corner. Now we'll dribble it to midcourt. On top of the key. Gives it to Bradley coming around to the right. Bounce pass wide open. Kimo Ducha, left hand and good.
And Aducha with great inside position, easy layup.
And now Sliwa trying to cut the lane. Ball was kicked. And Vikings will maintain possession.
Replaces number 42, Ryan Donkey.
Zach Schofstol the inbound. All the way over to Kim, wide open, left hand. No good from 3-point land. Xavier Williams came in to try to clean it up. And a whistle.
Another offensive rebound for the Vikings. And sooner or later, when you allow those offensive rebounds like that, they come back and bite you eventually.
Xavier Williams can jump out of the gym. The ball didn't go. He probably could have just thrown down. Don't know why he didn't choose to do so.
Yeah, he rose up high enough.
But the foul was called on Ryan Davis.
And the Cougars up 29-18 with 5:22 to go in the fourth quarter.
Xavier Williams short with his first free throw. Here's the second. As Jimmy Sotos passes him from behind. Good on the second one.
Ryan Kraske replaces Patrick Benka.
A 10-point lead for Conant on the road in the final 5.5. Jimmy Sotos could have just gone to a wide open basket and chose not to. Instead, he throws a pass across court that's intercepted by Sliwa, and here he comes. 29-19, Xavier Williams passes over to Sliwa, wide open three, denied by Kyle Bradley.
And Bradley with a great block on that play.
Patrick Benka replaces.
Bradley coming all the way over from the top of the key, leaping, swatting the ball hard with his right hand, looked like a volleyball spike out of bounds, and let Sliwa know about it. Schofstol passes up the three. You can't blame him as he's 0 for 7 on the night. Tried kicking it over to Kim. A foul away from the ball will put Schofstol on the line.
Foul on number 21, Shima Oducha. Zach Schofstol on the line.
Oducha guarding Benka underneath, called for a foul. And now Fremd is in single digits, trailing by 9. 29-20, 4:56 in regulation. Do they have one more miraculous comeback in them? 8-point game.
Number 44, Ryan Kraske.
Schofstol knocked down the second one. One more time, all the way across court. The Conant Cougars running the floor like a Hail Mary No shot put up, but Daniel Sotos controlled the pass. And how does Fremd continue to let that happen? Double team on Jimmy Sotos, falling down, passes over to his brother. Ball ripped away. Xavier Williams threw the ball out of bounds. And it'll be Conant going to the line. Xavier Williams got a little bit of hand, didn't get all ball.
And the Vikings double teaming the ball. Whoever gets the ball, whoever's the ball handler, they're playing that man, they're double teaming that man. And trying to get the ball out of his hands. So
it might not be a win, JL, but this defense from these Fremd Vikings in this second half has to be a huge positive for Wadlowski and company. And I'm not saying that they're out of this game, but just the tenacity, the effort, the double team. Conant's had to work for every point they've gotten. As Daniel Sotos nails the first one, here's the second one. That one's good too. Back to a 10-point advantage for Conant on the road in a Mid-Suburban League West showdown.
And it's because of that pesky defense that they have that you could never count them out of the game.
Sliwa, no three option there. Gives it to Kim to Banka. Banka driving right-handed pass. Nearly goes out of bounds. Sliwa grabs it. Working in front of Jimmy Sotos. Sotos quick hands, and Sliwa has to give it up to Kim. Over to Schofstel. Cross court to Banka. Had to jump for it. Three-pointer, no good. Way to the left.
And Peyton with the air ball. Peyton Kim.
(31-21), 4:09 in the fourth quarter. Conant on top of Fremd. Cross-court pass denied by Patrick Banka.
And Banka just rejecting Vincent under the basket.
And Schofstel, and so Fremd will try to score quickly. But Conant playing excellent defense and double teaming the ball.
And the Vikings, they're going to want a better shot inside to Kraske.
In the front court, they'll try with Kraske. Worked around Ryan Davis. Reverse lay-in is good. Finding a little bit of space. It's the first time Ryan Kraske has found his way onto the scoreboard tonight.
And Kraske with his first points of the night. I mean, it's about time that they went to him. And maybe this is what they need inside to get something going.
Too little, too late, if you ask me. You've taken way too much time to get number 44 involved. Unless there's something else wrong with him that we don't know about, it's inexcusable to not put your big man underneath who dominated this team the last time they showed up. And now just 2 points into the fourth quarter. And it's not as if Conant has doubled Ryan Kraske all night. They're doubling the ball no matter where it goes. There has to be space for number 44.
I agree with you on that. I think that they're so surprised, the Vikings are, because they usually shoot better, a higher percentage from the outside, and they just haven't been able to shoot as well as they normally would in this game. And you can attribute some of that, or most of that, to the way the Cougars have played defense, and they've played that tough perimeter defense tonight.
Live by the three, die by the three, and right now Fremd is suffocating slowly.
But we still have 3:42 to go in the fourth quarter, and they're down by 8. The Vikings are down 31-23 to the Cougars.
Well, almost as if they were linked up with the band. Conant breaks their huddle at the dead beat of the band stopping.
It's synchronized, I tell you.
Going off the director, using every bit of time they could on that timeout. So in the back court and dribbling up to midcourt, it's Kyle Bradley. Over to Sotos.
And this possession here specifically is going to be crucial.
Jimmy working on Kim, they'll double the ball. Jimmy tried to throw a bounce pass around the legs. Probably a little bit too cute for this point in the game. Got lucky. Daniel bailed him out.
And either Banka or Kim will be called on the foul on James Sotos, and James Sotos will go to the line.
Fremd with no other option at this point but to foul. They didn't want to put Jimmy on the line, but no, biggers can't be choosers. 3:16 remaining in the fourth quarter, down 31-23. And Jimmy misses the first free throw, wide to the right, bounces off the right rim, rolls around and goes to the left.
Kraske comes out of the game, and Dillian Simias, number 22, replaces him.
Second free throw good for Jimmy Sotos. Kraske coming out of the ball game. There has to be something else going on with him because, as I just said, it's inexcusable to not get that big of a guy going. And you're not shooting it well from the three-point land. Benka fading away to his right, not even close. Air ball controlled by Ryan Davis, who had it picked, and now Jimmy Sotos will take over the ball. Continues to dribble way too fancily, if you ask me, and will call a timeout after losing possession of the rock.
And that was a heads-up play by Jimmy Sotos, calling that timeout when he did. Double teamed, pressure on the ball.
And I wonder if Coach Tom McCormick is going to go over to Jimmy and say, hey, we have a 9-point lead. We do not need you going behind your back, throwing no-look passes. Just hold on to the ball, go to the free throw stripe, knock down these shots, and let's get out of here.
Play good, fundamental, sound basketball. You have the 9-point lead. There's no need to make any spectacular play or get all fancy about it.
And
I agree.
If you recall earlier, there was a little bit of a disagreement between Jimmy and brother Daniel. Every timeout since, they have not been near each other. It appears they've made up. Jimmy, number 11, sits right next to Daniel Sotos, number 32, on this timeout, and hugging it out, the brothers are.
Well, they got to be pretty happy right now, even though, although the game is there's still 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in the game. They have the momentum and a comfortable lead. Although that can change really quickly with the Vikings, but we'll see.
Winning cures all. All right, 9-point advantage for Conant in the final 3 minutes of this ball game. Ryan Davis trying a short 10-foot shot, no good, short off the rim. Peyton Kim.
And the
all the way up
Vikings.
court. Left-handed bounce pass over to Benka. Driving the baseline. Up and over for Cougars is Long with his shot, and Bradley will control it for Conant in the backcourt. Daniel Sotos, bounce pass back to Bradley. Will he be called for the travel?
And Bradley is called for the traveling. Rightfully so. Good call by the refs.
And for the Vikings,
So a turnover for Conant. And once again, all they have to do at this point in the ball game is hold the ball and go to the line. But they continue to make flashy mistakes time and time again. Schofstel, way downtown. Three-pointer, short one more time. 0 for 8 on the night from three-point land.
And goes over the top of the backboard, out of bounds. It'll be Cougars ball.
Kyle Bradley into Daniel Sotos. Double team, works through it. Whistle, foul, send number 32 to the line. Up by 9, 32-23, 2:13 in the fourth quarter, and this could draw out for quite a while.
Well, you see some of the Vikings fans already exiting the gymnasium.
It was a great crowd tonight. We expected a good ball game. For the most part, we've gotten a good ball game.
Yes, we have. Great competitive game.
Number 22, Dylan Simeon.
Number 3 in the conference. Appears that they are going to jump number 2 in the conference, at least for tonight. Second free throw, no good for Daniel after he knocked down the first one. And Schofstel will give up the three-pointer over to Kim. Over to Sliwa. Sliwa will take it, in and out. And that's how the night's gone for the Fremd Vikings.
They haven't been able to hit that outside shot.
Jimmy Sotos eluding the double team over to Bradley. Bounce pass to Vincent. Passes up a wide open shot. They want to control the ball. Jimmy driving across court to Ryan Davis. Over to Vincent. Underneath. Kick it out to Bradley. All the way over to Daniel. Back to Jimmy. Top of the court. Reset. Fremd will have to foul. Appeared they did. A lot of contact on Jimmy. Finds a wide open Ryan Davis. Kicks it back out. They'll do it again. Merry-go-round. 122. And finally, a stoppage in play at 121. Up by 10. And Conant's fans appreciate it. The ones that made the trip, apparently.
And the Cougars have earned. If they come away with this win, they've earned this win, most definitely. And they've been fouled repeatedly, like we've seen on this play here, previous play, and the refs, they haven't called. They haven't been consistent with calling the fouls tonight.
We talked the last timeout about how undisciplined, how flashy, how this and that, and all they have to do is hold the ball. That time, extremely disciplined the Conant Cougars were, passing up wide open shots. Guys certainly selfish, want to pad those stats, but giving it up to a wide open teammate, throwing it around, and they chewed off a minute and a half of basketball in doing so until the foul, and now they're probably going to go to the line, knock down 2, because we count on Jimmy to do that. Up by 10, it finally appears that they just get it, JL.
Well, they've learned from their previous mistakes, and they had several opportunities in this last possession with Vincent under the basket, with no one guarding him, able to just lay the ball up, but they want to kill the clock. They know they don't want to give the Vikings another opportunity to get back in this game, so they're doing the wise thing and killing the clock.
If this score holds, Conant will go to 12-7, 4-2 in the conference. Currently number 3 in the conference behind the Fremd Vikings, who are number 2 in the conference with a 12-3. They will go to 12-4. 3-1 in the conference will go to 3-2. So will Conant jump Fremd? Jimmy knocks the first one down.
These two teams have battled this year. I mean, both of the games have been great games, so they've been very competitive.
Jimmy Sotos, 7 on the night.
And the Cougars trying to knot it up here 1-1 in the win and loss column this year.
Fremd working the outside. There's no time to do this. They just got to put up shots, and finally Kim does. Rattles around into the rim. Rebound, Daniel Sotos. Foul, Fremd. 1 minute left, 35-23. Conant on top of Fremd on the road.
Foul on number 14, Zach Schutzball.
And the Cougars have played well. They've played poised. And the Vikings have not been able to hit an outside shot when they needed it.
First free throw good for Daniel. Looking to match his brother. Already has 6 points. Now he has 7. Both Sotos brothers with 7 points. But Jimmy with 6 rebounds. So he has bragging rights. All the way across court. Conant let Kim have that basket. Left-handed lay-in and good.
They are not going to foul him. They'll gladly give him that shot.
Absolutely no reason to foul at this point. Up 12 with 53.5 seconds remaining. This is the part of basketball that can just wear on you. I think we've been under 2 minutes for over 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
I have a feeling this is not going to be the last time that we see these two teams take on one another. When it all comes down to the playoffs, both of them seem adequate to be in there.
Yeah, I kind of get the same feeling that this is not the last time we'll see them play this year. We haven't seen the last of this matchup for sure.
And when that happens, I seriously doubt Fremd's just going to allow Conant to launch passes all the way across court, because that was too easy tonight.
Number 30, Peyton Kim.
And now Fremd will foul Jimmy Sotos, so of course Daniel's going to be upset about that. He said, we had the same number of points, but Jimmy's probably going to knock down 1 or 2 here. You never want your brother to score more than you, regardless if you get the win or not.
Well, I think with all the trouble they've had with the Vikings, I think the Cougars will take it.
The only people standing for the rebound are Fremd Vikings. Patrick Banka, Zach Schostel, Kyle Sliwa, Ryan Domke, for good measure, in case one of the other 3 can't get it, will stand looking for a rebound. Jimmy Sotos puts it right through the net, as all of his teammates were in the backcourt. 39 to 25 on a ticking clock at 50 seconds. Kyle Sliwa driving to the paint.
And Aducha with the rejection, and is called for the foul here.
Foul number 21, Chima Oducha. Kyle Sliwa shooting 2 for the Vikings.
Rattles around, no good. First free throw. Sliwa's seen that too many times tonight.
They have not been able to get the shots to go down tonight, the Vikings.
See if he can get the second one. In and out again.
Uncharacteristic, both free throws missed by Sliwa.
Sliwa's shots hit all parts of the rim, and both ended up being rejected.
Foul number 42, Ryan Naki.
And now a foul will send Kyle Bradley to the line on the other end. 42.2 seconds. 40-25, Conant. Bradley hit his first, misses the second. Rebound, Fremd. Vanka, just in case his parents are listening. Kim passed up 3. And still playing excellent defense by the Conant Cougars. Kyle Bradley took away a pass from Kim across the court. And another foul will send Jimmy Sotos to the line to try to add 2 more to his 9 points and 6 rebounds.
And this is what you call a slow death. With the Vikings prolonging the agony.
And in for Conant, number 15, Brandon Vincent. Number 22, Ben Scholl.
And the Cougar faithful here attending the game, give a round of applause for the Cougars.
Jimmy Sotos checked out of the game, and the Conant faithful came to their feet in appreciation of it.
And number 10, Anthony Zicardi.
And now all of the underclassmen are going to get some playing time for Coach Tom McCormick. Zach Schostel finally hits his first 3-pointer. And a little ironic that he does so with 18 seconds remaining in the game and it being way out of reach. Sliwa tried to answer one of his own, could not do so.
A little too late for that, though. 10.8 seconds left in the game. The Cougars up 42-28 here in the fourth quarter.
This game is well in hand for the Conant Cougars. Don't recognize anybody on the court. In fact, half of them don't even have numbers on the roster. So we have Nikola Todorov, Benjamin Scholes, Anthony Zicardi, Henry Pellish, and checking in Anton Jolly.
Your typical household name.
Tell me if you've ever heard those names on our broadcast. But good for them getting some time in right now. Don't tell them this isn't meaningful.
Yeah, great opportunity.
Oh, some nice moves from Zicardi. Loses the ball eventually, but certainly had some fun with it. There's the final buzzer. That last 2 minutes certainly took much longer than we were expecting, but 42-30 the final score here at Fremd High School. The Conant Cougars avenge their death from December and that dagger from Peyton Kim. So after blowing a huge lead the last time we saw Conant here at Fremd, they avenged their death, as I called it, with a double-digit win against the Fremd Vikings. The only, and I mean the only, negative part about this entire game for Conant, Chris Dulce hitting the deck, possible ACL tear, certainly appeared to be done for the season the way that we saw his head in the towel. And how does Conant overcome an injury like that?
I don't know if they'll be able to overcome that, but I mean they were able tonight to still get by with their other players being productive, and James Soto spreading the ball. It was a low-scoring game, but I think what won the game for the Cougars tonight was their defense. Certainly good defense by them. Double teams all around. We haven't seen that from them this year. For Fremd,
it's now a much tighter conference. They needed this game to stay ahead of Conant. Conant goes to 4-2 in the conference, which is really the only thing that matters. 12-7 they will go to overall. Fremd drops to 12-4, 3-2 in the conference. So we're not sure who's going to jump who, if that will happen. But the bottom line is Fremd could have put some space between them and Conant and failed to do so. That's critical.
Well, definitely this is a game that the Vikings wanted to win. They're usually really poised and they shoot from the outside really well. And they've been able to handle Conant this year. But Conant played really well, and they did not allow the Vikings to establish that outside game and get going from the outside.
It was another exciting one for Alexa Russo, our camera woman. JL Lorenzi, I'm Eric O'Brien. We'll see you on the next one.